This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Will, A Wonderful World. In the last episode, we dealt with the letters of Carlos and Chang, but apparently, due to some foolery with the gods or how the world works, we can't finish this until we work on the next task, messing with some other letters. So apparently they tie into each other, so if you have one event completed or done in a certain way, it'll unlock endings to the other events. So looks like we're starting to get into that web we weaved of confusion, huh? So let's check on the next letters with the purple and, I guess, purple and dark purple? I don't know, letters. So Heavenly's Father's Guidance.
My name is Alicia. I am 18 years old. I was born and raised in Mexico. I have a little brother named Carlos who is 9 years younger than me. He is the only family I have left. We're both orphans. The orphans were so poor that they couldn't afford to send us to school. I had to come and make some money so that I could keep my brother in school. If I could make enough money, I thought that maybe we would eventually move out of the orphanage and start a new life. Just the two of us.
Yeah, I should have known one of the characters was going to be Carlos' sister that we were going to interact with.
I heard that America was a place full of chances for everyone. That's where I should go. A travel agency inside Mexico City who told me that crossing the desert, stowing away on a train, or getting across the Rio Bravo were all risky and dangerous. Therefore, they had established a road via the ocean, even though it would be slightly more expensive. It was guaranteed to be safe, and everyone who had taken this route had gotten to America.
Good old talking about refugees and immigrants and stuff like that during the hot climate in our current, at least in my country's topic. Let's just say I'm not going to say much about it other than it's a thing right now. So, well, it's actually always been a thing in history, any country or anything. It's just right now it seems more heavily charged, let's just say that. But anyway, that's the last I'm going to talk about that.
I spent the money I'd been saving for months and bought myself a ship ticket. There were several other young girls with me on the ship. We were locked inside a smaller room and we're not allowed to go out. At first, we thought that it was just so that people would find us being smuggled across the border. But it had taken so long, we must have arrived by now. Half a month had passed and we were still at sea. We were finally certain that we had been conned. After about a month, the ship finally arrived at the port. We were then moved to a building near the port where guards watched us. Where were we now? Which country was this? Where were we going to be sold? As slaves?
Ooh dear, human trafficking. Didn't expect that to happen.
Or prostitutes? I crouched in the corner with my mind running wild. Every once in a while, a guard would come in and take a sobbing girl out. There were fewer and fewer people left in the room. Finally, there was only me and another girl named Julie left. Julie suddenly stood up and tried to hit the guard at the door facing us. She was holding a rock in her hand, but she didn't succeed. The rock fell to the ground and her arm was grabbed so tightly by the guard that it looked like it was about to snap. She looked at me with a pleading look in her eyes. I really wanted to help her. I didn't want to be sold either. I was too scared. The guard had a gun. Everyone outside had a gun. Julia lowered her head, and when she lifted back up, the guard was screaming like a pig being slaughtered. Half of his ear was Julia's mouth. Whoa. Well, I mean, if you're going to be sold as slavery, done whatever, you know, you're going to do some extreme stuff to get out of it, even if it means you'll get shot or killed. Then I heard a few gunshots, along with loud cursing. Julie fell down and stopped moving. Her eyes were open so wide as if she had just come out of a nightmare. The injured guard slammed the door angrily, which had hand covered his ears. Soon another person came in. This one seemed to be nicer. He had half a bottle of beer with him. He sat down at the door, looked at me, and then looked at Julie, who was lying in her own blood. He didn't seem to care about what happened at all. An hour later, his bottle was empty, and he had fallen asleep in the chair. It was pretty late. Maybe I wouldn't be taken away until tomorrow. I looked at Julie again, and remembered what she had told me there in the ocean. I want to become a singer in America. I want to be a star. She wasn't bragging. She had a really beautiful voice. She had also said, I know if I do my best, my dream will come true. I will never forget the look on her face when she said it. Her eyes had been filled with hope and anticipation for the future. I was very jealous of how lively and full of joy Julie was. The guard turned a little in his chair and his gun dropped from his waist, sliding towards my feet. Was it a hint from the Lord? I reached out for the gun, but I jerked my hand back like I'd been shocked when I touched it. No, I couldn't. What if I ended up like Julie? I held the cross right tight in front of my chest and started praying. Oh, Heavenly Father, Jesus, ask and you shall receive.
Or Jesus said, ask.
We trust that you know that our true needs are. You recognize what our true feelings are. You understand what situations you are in. Now we ask for what your heart truly desires. O God, give heed to our prayers. Show us your mercy. Amen. 5 minutes passed. 10 minutes passed. 30 minutes passed. The god began snoring. The god was right next to my hand. Maybe this really had been a hint from the Lord. I finally picked up the gun in hesitation. It felt so heavy in my hand. Mom, Dad, please bless me. Carlos, please bless me. Emily, Father, please bless me. I pushed the door open. There was no one in the hallway outside. It was so quiet. The only thing I could hear was my own heart beating wildly in my chest. The building had only one floor. After taking one turn, I could see the main gate. There were several guards at the gate too. All of them had guns. There was a black man and 2 Asians. The rest of them all had pale skin. How could I get out? With just one handgun? I checked the gun in my hand once again.
Does she even know how to shoot the thing? You know, I mean, people can shoot a gun, but it takes a little bit of knowledge to, like, handle it properly and not, like, would the gun be too, well, then no gun, bullets, okay. I was about to say, if she shot the gun, for example, how strong is the kickback, you know, that type of thing.
There were no bullets in the gun.
There were no bullets!
I collapsed on the floor. I was not feeling afraid anymore. I just felt utter desperation. Soon the guards noticed me and dragged me back into the room. This time they cuffed up my feet so that I wouldn't be able to escape again. Julie's body was still laying there. Flies began hovering around her face. But they didn't seem to have any intention of cleaning up the scene.
Really? You couldn't just dump her into the ocean at least?
Would I end up like Julie? Was this my final destination?
Is death trying to kill you for surviving a current death that you had in your previous life? I don't think so.
Heavenly Father, please answer me. Alicia.
So every character has their own, like, whatever they call a god, and then it just happens to be us. So it's like, sorry, the only true religion is Mormonism. Who was right? The Mormons. It was the Mormons. My name is Kang Gyeong-Min. I'm a cop. I'm a kip. I've been doing this for 7 years. Where's they? Can't really remember. Today, the old man assigned another newbie to my unit. We always had one my unit become as big as Unit 1. Why'd I need so many people? Detective work, it wasn't a lot of street fighting. I had a headache whenever I pictured the image of so many people in the unit, passing their lunches over their heads during lunch break. And this newbie today was full of that kind of fighting for justice crap. Lunatic. Well, screw it, whatever. I was just going to wait for a few days and I'd find an excuse to send him over to Unit 1. Everybody will happen then. We were always very busy. The files for the open cases had been stacking up on the decks, starting to resemble small hills. Among all the police precincts in the entire Republic of Korea, Busan might be one of the top 5 busiest precincts thanks to the violent gangs in the area. The Muslim gang for some reason. The Musan gang. Okay. Oh wait, we have to wait for it to finish before I can look at it. And the Bungmun gang? Alright, and the Bungmun gang. These two groups never made our lives easy. Okay, the Musun gang. The biggest violent gang in the Busan region. It mostly deals with drugs and arms trafficking. There are 4 groups within the gang. The Taesung's group, the Yusong group, the Gangmun group, and the Inwoo group. Their boss' most famous saying was, as long as you're still breathing, you gotta do what you gotta do. Interesting. The Bungmun gang? The only other major gang that is able to rival the Musun gang is the Busan region. Its business encompasses prostitution, entertainment, and gambling. Unlike the Musun gang, the Bungmun gang is less violent prone and puts more emphasis on intelligence. One of their boss's most famous saying is, as long as it pays, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's almost the same thing, really, when you think about it. Well, I mean, it isn't, you know. Anyway, recently, the old boss of the Moonsun gang had been gravely ill. His underlings were all itching to become the successor. There were at least a dozen people killing the infant every day. If I kept saving up my vacation days like this, I'd probably have enough time to plan for our next trip to the moon. The case today was an all one too. It was a hostage case, but the kidnapper and the hostages belonged to the same gang. It was a so-called family matter. Well, what worse was that the kidnappers was someone quite important in the Musun gang. The old man always told us to keep the things easy as to avoid a direct confrontation with the gangs. He had told me again today, multiple times, to bring the kidnappers in without hurting anyone. Not hurting anyone? If he had really wanted that, he would not have signed the case to me. I was crawling in a narrow air vent duct. I could hear breathing sounds all around me, both loud and quiet, as well as the sound of the fans. The air smelled disgusting. I loosened my collar a bit. Fuck this. I'd rather climb up the outside of the building with my bare hands than suffocate inside this goddamn tube. Tell that to McLean, right? I could have just walked in front of the door and popped 2 shots in his head. I finally arrived at the top of the room. The voices coming from below sounded very weird through the vent. You stay there. Don't fucking move. All of you, don't move. Tiger was sitting on a couch in the other end of the room. He kept waving the gun in his hand around, pointing at the other one's heads every once in a while. Those poor bastards with all his underlings, none of them even dared to look up. I had seen lots of junkies that would get so high they wouldn't recognize their own mother. Still, the scene right before me is so unusually funny that I almost chuckled. The area below the vent was right in front of the bay window. Anyone else could easily see inside the room for across the street through that window. My task today was to lure him over. I got closer to the vent, trying to observe the situation more closely. Clang! A loud noise came from somewhere. Don't move! I heard a man's voice. A bullet flew out without me seeing it. The nails fastening the vent registered had been shattered by the bullet and bounced off a few meters away in the corner. After a tumble and a half, I fell and smashed to the white carpet, along with the vent register. 5 meters away, the junkie was holding his gun with a shocked expression on his face. Smoke was still coming out of the dark, shaking barrel. Near my shoulder, my shirt turned from its original red to another kind of red, and the colored patch kept getting larger. You've let yourself get hurt again, idiot. A voice that couldn't be more familiar. Oh, wait. You let yourself get hurt again, idiot. A voice I couldn't be more familiar with appeared in my head once again, while also sounding like it was coming from out of this world. Ah, crap. I had come back to this room again. The room was extremely dark. There was no furnishing inside except for a light bulb hanging in front of the center of the ceiling. A slightly shorter person walked out from a dark corner reluctantly. His hair was all messed up, and his eyes didn't even look alive. As soon as he pushed away from underneath the light, a mysterious force dragged me in the corner. I was swallowed by darkness. Whenever I see it was in danger, this guy would come out against my will. But at a moment like this, well, shit, what a shitty day. Well, whoever stood under the light would have control of the body. Wait, does he have multiple personalities or something? From this moment on, I was no longer command of my own body. I managed to dodge all the fighting bullets coming towards me with extreme agility and human postures. What are you, not Bruce Lee, like Chow Yun-Fat or who's the other, like, famous, or like Jackie Chan or any of the other famous Chinese action stars? And even, or Jet Li, or, I'm trying to remember all the action stars that are Chinese. There's quite a few, actually, surprisingly. But anyway. When I got back to my feet, I somehow had a gun in my hand. 13 9mm bullets in the magazine were fired like a machine gun. Each one of them went through his head. I'm expecting, like, white doves to pop out during the story or somewhere around the line. Broken eyelid balls splashed all over the barely recognizable face of the junkie. Everything was a terrible mess. The junkie collapsed to the floor like a pile of mud. Now the gun was aimed at his henchmen that were still all tied up. Things were taking an ugly turn. One bullet, one life, no waste. But I hesitated when the gun pointed at a muscular guy with a tattooed head. The muscular guy suddenly swept at me with my ankle with his leg. I lost my balance, knocked my head on a short table, and passed out. When I woke up, I was lying in the hospital with tubes coming out all over my body. Min Jun was sitting next to me, sound asleep. Was that the guy with the sniper rifle, I guess? 8 deaths. As per usual, I had to write 1,000 words for each death in the report, which meant I needed to write 8,000 words. Whoa, is that how that works? Moreover, the target this time was not just some regular punk. His father was the leader of the gangman group with the Musan Gang Cho Yo Han. That would mean another 4,000 words at least. Gosh, my head hurts so bad. Sweet Jesus, give me a break, please. Wow, it's almost like I was watching an action movie. If only I had some popcorn. Don't ruin the solid mood by suddenly thinking about popcorn. Okay, sorry, there's no popcorn here, but we do have osmanthus cakes. Oh, that's great too. I'm not very picky. So if I want to eat cakes while watching a movie, oh no, I mean, while working, is there any way I could do it with hands-free? These letters are not like the regular letters I can just read in front of me. I have to follow the thoughts of the writer by confirming it sentence by sentence. Stupid lazy girl. Although there is indeed a way. If you want to free your hands to eat or do something at all, you need to do is press triangle. Then the letter will enter autoplay mode. Furthermore, if you want to read it faster, you're not eating, you can activate skip text option in the options. Afterwards, every button will just reveal an entire line of text immediately. All of these tips will help archived inside the help menu, which will periodically update as we go along. If you have any questions, don't forget to check the information there. Huh, got it. Well, the game even knows it's fourth wall breaking, and it knows it's a visual novel. Kang Vecchia. Well, let's start this. Let's see how these two work together. So obviously she has to probably have some bullets in that gun to survive this encounter, but obviously, or something like that anyway. So, but oh, we've only got 3 options there. Okay. Well, we've already done that one. I guess that already gives us our. We've already had that one bad ending already. With that, so well, let's see how we can get all the bad ending, get all the bad endings out of the way first. Yeah, let's just start with that one first. Do the, have her have nothing and whatever. Nails fastened in the rent register had been shattered by the bullet. It bounced off the few mirrors in the corner. After tumbling in half, I smelled the fast work. Okay, I should just probably shot. Smoke still coming in the dark, shaking barrel. Got shot again. Get hurt again. Yep. What's that one? Come out of this world. Oh crap. Why is it playing this whole thing again? Because I think this is all the same. Zero's messed up. His eyes didn't look like alive. Swallowed by the darkness. Yep. I don't know what this. Well, shit. What a shitty day. what a lovely day. I'll have to see that in Fury Road. Actually, I still haven't actually seen that movie. I've only known bits and pieces about it from memes and stuff like that. Managed to dodge all the bullets. I should go into the. Maybe I should go in the menu and do the whole where it pops up all the dial or whatever. I got it back to me. Click. Okay, here's the new stuff. Click. The trigger kept clicking. No, new bullets are fired. Forgot to put the magazine back yesterday after doing some maintenance. I hadn't noticed that when I was still in the vent, but this idiot. Although hand-to-hand combat would only mean one thing, my opponent was going to suffer even more. I began to empathize with the poor bastard. As I had lost control of my body, I had also been so exhausted that the view from my eyes was starting to get shaky and blurry. My skipped vision, I glanced at Min Jun, waiting for a chance for his best shot from the roof of the building across the street. He could see everything inside the room in his scope on the sniper rifle. I punched the junkie in the nose. His nose was broken in an asymmetric shape, and blows coming out of both of his nostrils. However, the junkie seemed to be more lucid after the punch. He looked outside the window, following the direction of my eyes. He had noticed Min Jun too. A clear view in front of the window, a perfect shot for a sniper. However, I didn't know anything about today's plan. The junkie saw an opening and suddenly grabbed my body. He then quickly turned around and forced my back toward the window. The bullet shattered the window glass in an instant and pierced through my chest as well. The strong force flipped me over and destroyed my lungs. I couldn't breathe anymore. Did he end up shooting us by accident? Like, through us to him? Wow. Talk about messed up situation. I stood helplessly in the corner of the dark room. My sight was fading. Eventually I lost all connection to this world.
Now that I'd made up my mind, I had to follow through. The Lord would bless me. I raised the gun and tried to shoot one of the Asian men. My trigger felt so heavy, and the recoil almost knocked the gun out of my hand.
I talked about how recoil might affect her, and, well, she seemed, from her model, it seems like she's pretty frail, or at least, pretty light frame. Unfortunately, I didn't hit anyone. Instead, I only succeeded in exposing myself. That's vulgar.
I had to keep shooting, but the girls at the 6 bullets clicked when I didn't hit anyone. Their firepower was way stronger. They aimed their shots at my feet. I had to keep crawling back. How could I possibly win a shootout?
Bad ending. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, we already did the no bullets in the gun. So have we officially done that as an ending? Okay, so we did that as an official ending. Let's see. Let's try it. Let's do that. It's probably going to give me the same thing, but just to get all the endings before I do the S one.
I accidentally knocked down a ladder that had been put against the wall. The guard on the woman woke up. He stumbled into the hallway, still quite sleepy.
Or actually, no, I think this is actually just one. Never mind, sorry. I was distracting myself.
The guard on the woke up. He stumbled in the hallway, quite sleepy. I suddenly had an idea. Hands up, don't make a sound or I'll shoot. I pointed the gun at his head. He held his hands up high and began sweating. I walked to the gate slowly. Do not speak to him. Do not lower your hands. Do not turn around. I I pressed the gun against the back of his head, and he walked slowly towards the gate.
Now she's taking charge. Well, when anyone's pointing a gun, it doesn't matter if you're man. It doesn't matter who you are. A gun's still a gun.
My palms are completely wet with sweat.
Palms are sweaty, hands are achy, shaky. Mom's spaghetti. I don't know how many times I'm gonna reference a song I don't even like.
Only I knew that I was more nervous than he. We were only a few hundred meters away from the port. I smashed his head with the gun as hard as I could have knocked him out.
Wow, you must be strong enough. I'm kind of surprised, actually.
I ran away as soon as possible.
Then again, I guess if you hit someone just right, you could give him a concussion and knock him out.
I didn't dare look back. There were still plenty of people on the street. Many stores were still open, even in the middle of the night. People were shooting strange looks at me as I ran past them. They all seemed to be Asians. But I did dare stop and talk to them. Julie had been right about one thing. Dreams did come true when you did your best. I didn't know how long I had to run, but I couldn't take even one more step. I collapsed into a bunch of paper plaques stacked in the corner of an alley.
Well, so that's got to be her best ending. She got away scot-free, pretty much. Bullets hit the vent register. Then it happened to deflect and hit my shoulder. What a wonderful day for me. Blood was streaming down my arm, dripping in the vent. Then it dropped into the carpet in the room below.
Wait, what is this?
The target steps were getting closer. When he stopped, I didn't need to look. The bastard must have been standing right beneath the vent. Soon he lifted his head and looked up and noticed me. It was the sound of the window glass shattering, and then it was the sound of flesh being destroyed. Mission complete. Everything went as planned. Well, almost. I stood next to the junkie's body with missing half of his hand, or head. Ah, shit. Well, he's supposed to just lose a leg or something. It was a little different from what the old man demanded. Me and June had just rushed away, over from the building across the street. He dropped to his knees with a thud as soon as he saw me.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant. It was my mistake. I missed.
He looked like he hadn't forgotten the last time when he did not follow the plan exactly, and soon had to write a 2,000-word report. Apologizing wasn't good enough. What would we need the cops for then? I checked the junkie's pocket. There were only 50,000 won and half a pack of Marlboros. Wait, you can't mention McDonald's, but you can mention Marlboros? Whatever. I snuffed the money in Min Jun's pocket and lit a cigarette for myself. Well, Cho Do Sung, which was the name of the junkie, was just trash in this society. He deserved to die. After witnessing such a bloody end, maybe his loser buddies will learn to behave a little too. Yeah, maybe it wasn't too bad after all. I touched Min Jun's head. Don't worry about it. Well done. I was about to say, it sounds like that's right for both of them, so. Alright, let's see what we got. We still need... Whoops. She needs 2 more endings, and he needs 3 more to get the bad ending, so let's see if we can get those really quick. Alright, let's do the whole... I wonder if that affects anything if we do that. Just take everything off of him. See how that works. A bullet that had come from the door hit me in the stomach.
I slowly collapsed to the ground with my back against the wall. I could feel the warmth leaving and slowly leave my body. The last thing I saw was some people arguing at the door. They were all strangers. Tears rolled down my face. It was true what they said. The people who wanted to see you the most in your last moments would be your own family.
There was nothing directly beneath the vent that I could use. The only possible distraction was the 3 layers of water barrels stacked in one corner of the room. I raised my handgun with the silencer attached. I aimed to pull the trigger. Bat, bat. No. The bullet hit a barrel and red flames erupted from it. A raging fire swept across the room. It swallowed the junkie in its pathetic underlings. Then it gushed into the air vent. Fire swallowed me as well. There wasn't water in those barrels, and I made a huge mistake. I should have thought about this and lured him over in another way. The end. Oh, bad. They both died in horrible, horrible ways, didn't they? Okay, so let's see. See if that gets me anything. Sweet. I'm getting a little bit better at figuring out like when I need to do what for what. So that probably won't be all the case. Maybe I'm just getting lucky in this case. Well, it's when you only have so many options, it's a little bit easier. But anyway,
I accidentally knocked down a ladder that had been put up against the wall. The guard in the room woke up. He stumbled in the hallway, still quite sleepy. I suddenly had an idea. Hands up! Don't make a sound or I'll shoot!
You said that really loud, dude.
I put the gun in his head. I knew there was no bullets, but maybe he didn't, or maybe he had forgotten. He slowly walked towards me. He grabbed the gun with one hand and took it out of my grasp. He had no hesitation.
I was kidding myself.
He dragged me back into the room. This time he had cuffed up my feet so I wouldn't be able to escape again. Julie's body was still laying there, flies began hovering around her face, but they didn't seem to have any intention to clean up the scene. Would I end up like Julie? Was this my final destiny? Final destiny! Oh, he still gets S-rank even from that, huh? Okay, so he still has 2. I figured out all of hers. Now I just have to figure out how to get all of his stuff. Let me think. What options am I missing here? Well, I guess I could come back and do this later. I'm just trying to think. Let me retry. What did I... Okay, I did one where he had nothing. I did one where she... So I have to do his in, like, some weird specific order. That's the only thing I can think of that would cause it. Do that as far as I'm aware of. So I just have to figure out how to... Let me think. Okay, what's my history? I guess it would be just to look at his stuff and see what options I've had. So, okay, Kang and a bullet. I think that's the one where it's just blank. Yeah, that's blank. Bullet flat, see me. And that one was there's no bullets in the gun. Bullet flows. So Kang has to be somewhere down there. Let's see, that's Kang, bullet, no bullets, bullet, Kang. Okay. How about putting Kang, bullet, and no bullet, maybe? Let's see. Oh, whoops. No, come on. See if that does. See if that does anything. No. Retry. So I think all of them. Maybe if we just move the order around, maybe that'll give me something different. Yeah. How about that? Won't give me anything now. Unless I need to do something from like another mission or whatever. That might be the case. Did I do one where it was just... Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Kang. That one's with nothing. I wonder if there's just a option with Kang there. Probably not. Let's see. Do something. Okay, that'll give him something at least. The nails shower by the bullet, bounced off. Okay. The nails fast hitting the shower by the bullet and bounced off a few meters in the corner. Okay, now that 5 meters away, John can point the gun at me. Don't move. Or, don't move. Okay. Don't move is serious. I dropped my gun and held my hands behind my head. I did as he said and sat together with other hostages. Shit. I was gonna owe Unit 3 another big favor. I assume Unit 3 is hostage negotiation. Oh, that's rank A? Huh. Interesting. Okay. And then we got one more with him. And that's just if you just have the Kang one. So... most of them have Kang, so maybe... Bullet, no bullets, bullet, maybe? Let's see what that gets me. Whoops. No. Oh, that's the... Oh, that's the... That's right. What was I thinking? That's the S... That's the S option, because that was bullet, no bullet. So that one's Kang by itself. That one's bullet, no bullet. Kang, bullet. And then, how about Kang and no bullets, maybe? See what that does. Kang, no bullets. See if that gets the same thing. No, that just gets us the A rank, basically, again. And it's still open, which means I can do something with it. Let's see. So Kang no bullet got me that same thing too. Bullets no bullet. I already did the one with no option on there. Whoops. Yep, come on, stop that. So that's reset. No. Whoops. Okay, that's that one. There we go.
I thought I'd done that one already. Alright. Where were the bullets? Wait, taking on the magazine yesterday will do maintenance. Must have forgotten to bring it along earlier. Shit. I must have been too tired recently. My memory was getting all really bad. Maybe in a couple of years I would have Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease, also referred to, yeah, this is probably one of the things I'm afraid of getting when I get older. It's not common in my family, but you never know. Alzheimer's disease, also referred simply as Alzheimer's, is a chronic neurodegenerative disease that usually starts slowly and worsens over time. Typical symptoms include dementia, problems with language, memory loss, etc. It most often begins in people over 65 years of age, hence the slang old-timers disease. Its full name was Alzheimer's disease. It is a chronic neurodegenerative disease which usually starts slowly and worsens over time. Typical symptoms include... Why is it repeating itself? It repeats itself twice! What the hell? Someone messed up on the translation on that one. I paged Min June through the radio. There was a change of plan. We needed to fall back. Heard a loud boom coming through the air duct behind me just as I climbed out of the vent. Well, later I learned that the room with the target had an inexplicable explosion. The investigation afterwards indicated that everyone in that room had burnt to ashes. No survivors. I never imagined that forgetting the magazine would turn out to save my life. I suppose today wasn't such a shitty day after all. Bad end, except he survived, which is kind of weird, but... Alright, so we got the best endings out of those folks, so we're down there, so... You solved King Baekya's problem, but don't forget about Chang Gyeong-Min's letter from earlier. Alright, it almost slipped my mind. Alright. Well, now with Alicia surviving her encounter with the human traffickers, and Kang getting out of his situation with only a light scratch, it's now back to Carlos and Chang to solve their story, or perhaps even deal with Lee's story. But find out what happens next time in the next episode of Will, A Wonderful World. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.